Oh, looks like random. Dark Star playing as random as our green player against Mr. Wutz, who has spawned at the 12 o'clock position. Yellow Zerg player once again just crushed the last guy with just getting a lot of Zerglings. You know, you don't want to over drone in Zerg against Zerg. That's the main thing. You know, you gotta decide when you can drone, when is it safe, when is it not. You know, if he goes roaches, it's safe to drone. If you want speedlings, it's not safe at all unless you have enough roaches or things to defend it with. Because then you can drone, you know, or if you went banelings or something like that, then you can drone. But right now, you know, I mean, that last game is kind of like, okay, I'm going to just try to drone too hard and hope he doesn't attack me, because that's just not quite as good. So anyways, Mr. Darkstar has spawned as Zerg at the bottom here, or, well, that's the left-hand 9 o'clock position, dark green player. Actually, is that just green? I'm not quite sure, because didn't we already have a dark green? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we already had a dark green, so whatever. All that good stuff. And, well, drone coming in here to scout for Wutz. Very good timing on that. Seeing what's going on. And just producing some drones. I believe he will probably be not going hatch first. Yeah, I was going to say, because they're at close positions. Looks like he's pretty much just playing how I play, you know, just like see how it goes. I mean, see where your opponent is and decide what to do then. So he's putting down that extractor. I believe a pool will be coming out shortly, getting up a drone. In the meantime, let's see when they do that. Looks like he's on 13, so I believe it was a 13 extractor, 13 pool. Not going up quite yet. Now it could go up. There it goes. Looks like he just sent the drone a little bit prematurely. It looks like the drone that just mined that mineral is going to go in the gas anyway, so I mean, it even get to use that mineral. And it looks like Dark Star going to be going hatch first without scouting. Once again, this is just not a good idea when you don't scout. I don't know, you just need a scout first, see where your opponent is, and then decide. Because, I mean, going hatch first and not knowing that he's cheesing you is just not a good play. You know, that's how you detect a cheese before it happens and decide, okay, I can do it this way. I need to defend this, or I don't need to defend this. Because if you don't scout, you don't know, and you're just going to lose the cheese. So, I mean, that's how you bust cheese. You scout, you see what he's doing, and if you see the right buildings for that cheese, then you can expect it. You know, if you see a forge at your Protoss opponent's base, you know he's going to cannon you, you know, so it's just going to be a good call to scout. And early, so you make sure you get there in time, you know. So, anyways, hatch going up. Like I said, pool's going up. It looks like there was a mana block. That evolution chamber by Wutz is blocking the gas, making sure that speed is a bit late. And let's see, Zerglings are out now from Mr. Wutz. It looks like this Zergling speed is on the way as well. It looks like he's choosing to keep guys in the gas and get a Baneling Nest, so I do like this quite a bit. Just because, you know, if your opponent goes hatch first, Banelings are going to be pretty good, you know, in these close positions. You know, you get your Zerglings out over there. It looks like the Baneling Nest is probably about to pop pretty soon. It looks like about 2/3 done. Maybe get in there and do some extra damage with those Zerglings to that Spinecrawler. Spinecrawler definitely in trouble here. You know, doesn't have any Zerglings out whatsoever. Looks like 2 groups of Zerglings coming out in just a sec. Second Spinecrawler just popping out now. Looks like he's, you know, he was able to kill off a couple of extra drones there. Pulling him, well, not ahead, but, you know, around there. And now that Evolution Chamber is in danger of dying as well. Looks like the Zergling speed just started by him. And, well, Banelings are on the way. So, I mean, if those Banelings get into the mineral line and not enough drones are pulled off, then it's going to do a ton of damage. Now, if he does see him in time and pulls him away, alright, here it is, actually, we'll see. We'll see, you know, the Spinecrawler really could, oh man, they all detonate on that Spinecrawler. Definitely not the best use of that, but he does have Zerglings in the base here, so I mean, it's not the worst. He could definitely pick off a lot of drones with that, even the Queen, and Dark Green here is going to be in a whole load of trouble. I was going to say, you know, if he, you know, tries to go for the drones and doesn't go for the Spinecrawler, then the Spinecrawler can just target fire with Banelings. It is just that easy, but with those Zerglings around, you know, it's quite a bit harder, so I mean, you got to pick and choose, and, well, he didn't actually lose too many drones there. He actually did quite a good job defending that, and that's why I really wish he would have gone for the drones. But I would not say either player is really ahead at this point. You know, he just kind of lost a couple of Spinecrawlers, and, you know, he's able to re-drone back up to where he's actually still ahead of Wutz in terms of drone count. Well, we'll see what decides to do. You can definitely put up an expansion. You know, if you constantly produce Zerglings out of your main here, you can, you know, you will slowly build enough money to get a hatchery. You might as well get a hatchery. And it looks like there was a pause. by Death Gun. And that was just, okay, that was totally BM. You get in there with a bunch of Banelings and Zerglings and then someone pauses, like, come on now. That's just not cool. That's just trying to be a douche. So, I'm definitely not for that kind of stuff, because people come here to actually play StarCraft instead of just dick around. Anyways, Baneling Nest for Mr. Darkstar is going to be going down in just a sec. And, well, Zerglings are going to be picked off. So, well, there's a Spinecrawler up here, and these Zerglings are going to be forced to not go over there. Drone's trying to keep around that Spinecrawler. Good call, but, you know, gotta be careful. Looks like he lost a lot of drones that time, only down to 10. What having 15, so what swinging ahead with that, putting down that hatchery as well. And what is victorious Darkstar getting, or Darkstar, I was going to say Darkstar, but that's not true. Taking the win there, taking the lead. Yeah, it's Death Gun. Okay, never mind, it's not even Darth. Alright, sorry about that, just kinda let my throat rest for just a minute, but it looks like we have Mr. What spawning over here at the 3 o'clock as our yellow Zerg, of course, and he is up against Buckethead, who has spawned at the 6 o'clock as our brown, yeah, it is brown, excuse me, brown Terran. So it is a Zerg against Terran in the close position. Now, a lot of people say, okay, this is just, you know, it's Terran against Zerg in a close position. Of course Terran wins, you know, unless Terran is awful. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. I mean, sure, it might be a little bit harder, but I mean, I would not say by much. I'd just say Zerg has to switch his build a little bit, you know? You just can't play exactly the same. You have to get more units out, that's all. You know? Whereas, like, on Steps of War, I'd definitely say it is, because you can expect your opponent to be in a close position. Whereas here, you have to scout it, so, I mean, there's not going to be, like, any proxy barracks or anything like that. You know, I guess there could be, but it would just be late. So, I mean, having to be a 4-player map and the same kind of, you know, distance is totally different than having it be a 1v1 map and have the same distance. You know, that's just totally different. I just want to put that out there. Anyways, the SV is being chased away by this drone. Looks like he's going to go right back in there. I think he just really wanted to try to lose the drone that's following him, but looks like he's going to go in there anyways. Drone's going to continue on to do some chasing. And, well, there's a scout drone heading out as well for Mr. Wutz. Looks like he's not going to be going hatch. He does have the pool on the way. It's about half done. Tesla's saying there's 232 APM for buckets. Looks like there isn't right now, but there might have been. Well, Bucket is adding on second barracks. Now, this is pretty much what you expect in Terran against Zerg in close positions. You expect there's going to be 2 barracks play, which is why I think Wutz went spawning pool first. Now, in close positions, for me anyway, I would say you can still go hatch first. You really can. But you might want to do it like 1 or 2 drones earlier. So you can get the creep up and then put down the spawning pool, or spawning Spinecrawler, excuse me, as soon as that finishes, and that's going to be, you know, you're pretty much going to be fine against that, you know, fast 2 barracks play. You know, unless it's a Reaper or something like that. You know, even with against a Reaper, you might be all right depending on how you deal with it. Now, of course, you can just kind of use drones and pick off some SCVs. It looks like actually the first bunker's going up there. First Marine was killed off by these 2 Zerglings. Now, 2 Marines can kind of kite Zerglings, you know, slow Zerglings anyways, all day long, and deal a lot of extra damage, but you have to be pretty good with micro. You know, you have to have that good micro and keep both your macro, and it looks like these 2 Marines just kind of stumbling their way out there, getting killed off by those Zerglings, and while the Spinecrawler is moving into position, he's going to be landing right approximately exactly there. And, well, it looks like Wutz is back to droning. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's see. Yep, drone. Well, one drone anyway. Not quite sure what's underneath this queen. Looks like there was a drone that popped out there. And the extractor just was taken, and the Roach Warren is going up as well. So, looks like Zerg is going to try to do some pressure here. Because, I mean, you don't really need the Roach Warren when you see two barracks play, unless you want the Roaches against the Marines, which is fine, you know. But, you generally get the Roach in case of Hellion, but if you went two barracks, he's not going to have a Hellion, like, anytime soon. So, I mean, you can actually delay that if you're just getting it for defense. Now, of course, if he decides to build a huge Marine army and all in with his SCVs, then of course Roaches are going to be a good choice because you're not going to be able to more Banelings in time. You might be able to get out a couple of extra Roaches, but I mean, I'm just saying, you could possibly delay that. I think not enough players do delay that. And in case you're wondering, that's pretty much exactly how I play Zerg. I just delay everything as much as possible and just drone. And then if I see an opening to be aggressive, then I'm super aggressive, and I feel that's the only way you can play Zerg. You sit back, tech, drone, do that stuff, and then defend with as little as possible, and then, or you can be super aggressive and just build up a ton of guys. If you do half and half, it doesn't really work out. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Terran is getting in here, killed off that spine crawler. I was going up. A bunch of Marines, a couple of SVs as well. Those SVs are not really going to be able to build a bunker on this creep, but they are going to be able to absorb some damage. So, I mean, yeah, it looks like these Roaches are, in fact, going to be very useful picking off some guys here. Zerglings, he would have had to waste a lot of Zerglings to kill those Marines off. So, I mean, that is a good choice. And he's doing a good job just defending with those few Roaches there. I wonder if he's adding on some... Well, he's not adding on anything right now. But, well, we'll see. It looks like Tech Lab is being added on to that first barracks. Another Tech Lab being added on to the second as well. Factory is now done, and a starport is on the way. So it looks like he used that time with that aggression to be super powering up or full. Well, that's one of the choices. You can either power up. It looks like Zerg's being aggressive. Possibly going to pick off some guys. Well, it looks like the SCVs are there to repair, but there's just not enough Marines to pick them off. So he could actually be in quite a bit of trouble here. Well, it looks like the Marines are at a good distance. Now, actually, you could move your Marines back just slightly, and then the Roach couldn't even attack you. So you could just run back and forth. Kind of a miss micro there by Bucket. But he could just be adding on some more Marines and whatnot, keeping up the macro and whatnot. But what I was saying was, there's three choices. You can either tech up, or I guess there's four choices. You can either tech up, build up your economy, build up your units, or power. Now what power means, because I think you guys understand the other ones, what powering up means is adding on unit producing structures, like adding on like 3 barracks at a time. Because if you just add on a bunch at a time, and just keep building SCVs, you'll actually be able to produce more faster just by waiting a little bit. By spending your money on other things, until later on, type of thing. So I mean, it allows you to get a tech a little bit faster. Like for example, for Protoss, you can get you can have your one gate go robotics, then add on a couple of gateways. Instead of going 3 gate and then robotics, you'll have the robotics facilities sooner, and you'll still have these two gateways at the same time. So I mean, it's just like a switcheroo to get your robo stuff out a little bit sooner. So, anyways, let's talk more about the game. Looks like a bunch of Zerglings now coming in, possibly doing some aggression against the Terran. Looks like a lair is going up, and a macro hatch, as well as a Baneling Nest and an evolution chamber. So what here is powering up right now? I guess you could say teching and powering up. Just getting up a bunch of everything. And while there's a lot of Zerglings here, we'll see if this wall holds. And, well, it looks like he's not going to try to get in there now that that tank is there. Even getting 2 kills off of that final shot, the final word with the, the Crucio shock cannon. And, well, let's see, looks like a bunch of Roaches now popping out. Now with these Banelings now, of course, Zerg could do a bust. You could morph some right now and bust in there, but it is kind of risky right now. Terran does have, well, not a lot of stuff, but I mean enough stuff to possibly defend it. So I mean, that is somewhat of a risk. I'd say maybe you want to expand and do it at the same time. Then it's not risky at all, because I mean you can just